That's the way to bring it with no backing track. A cappella from Amanda. Good stuff. I think the Australians got a kick out of that version as well. And there's one powerful voice. Let's check the team news. And there are 3 changes to the 11 which started on Saturday afternoon, with Mackenzie Arnold replacing Lydia Williams in goal. Alana Kennedy is right to go after surgery on both big toes a couple of months ago, stepping in for Laura Alloway in defence, while Newcastle co-captain Gemma Simon is in at left-back, with Elise Keller-Knight switching to midfield. For the visitors, there's one change to their starting lineup, with Canberra United attacker Maria Jose Rojas. The inclusion as Urrutia makes way. Francisca Lara and Carla Guerrero were among the goal scorers on Saturday. Expect the likes of Alex Chiniak and Emily Gilnick to get some game time in the second half, while the Matildas' greatest ever goal scorer, Lisa Devanna, is also among the substitutes tonight. Well, Alan Stajic described the loss in Penrith as a fairly decent bump in the road. He knows they're likely to drop out of the top 6 when the next FIFA rankings come out, and that could make next year's group stage at the World Cup that little bit tougher. Looking at a matchup with one of the big guns. This guy will take whatever they get next year, and he's a very successful coach and former player with Colo Colo as well back home. Jose Letelier in charge of Chile and doing some wonderful things. Former goalkeeper. And the match ball about to be taken to centre stage by Jamie Young and Sally Young as part of the 7 Consulting International Series. They're going to drop the match ball off to a South Korean referee who's having her first year on the international stage, Kim Yoo-jong. Been in Australia for a week and looking forward to this opportunity to take charge of a big-time international after being at the AFC Under-16 Championships earlier this year. Going to see a couple of Canberra United teammates head-to-head tonight. Maria Jose Rojas, the 30-year-old, who scored in a recent 4-all draw between Canberra United and Perth Glory. And she'll be up against Ellie Carpenter at times tonight, you'd imagine, although Chile really do rotate in the final third. But the young teenager gets that right-back role again tonight. And she's been working on a little routine with Caitlin Ford by the looks of it. Let's hope they're celebrating a goal or two like that this evening. Chile changing their strip tonight. They were in red the other day, and there are fans of this country who've driven up from Melbourne to Newcastle to be part of today's festivities. And there was a big support for them out in Penrith as well. That's the clan who came from Melbourne, and they're driving home tonight, straight back to Melbourne for the first day at work for one of them tomorrow. That's the passion that's on display for the red in white tonight. Countdown is on. And the hunt for redemption is on for the Matildas. Straight on the front foot from the kickoff. They nearly scored from the kickoff in the second half the other day. What kind of reaction are you expecting, Sarah Walsh?
Well, I'm hoping we see a controlled one. You can already see that there's going to be a really high press, but what Chile did show us that they can keep the ball, and they can keep the ball under pressure. So Australia will have to be much better without the ball today. As you mentioned, Rojas started up on the right. Huge task for Gemma Simon, who gets a huge opportunity today at left back. She can consolidate that, have a really good performance, and force the hand of Alan Stajic in future matches.
Now Lopez looking to switch it up. Here's the impressive Aedo, who was fantastic the other night. And Polkinghorne able to keep it away from Lara. Immediately out of there by Mackenzie Arnold. And I'm sure a change-up in goal would surprise a lot of viewers, but there is often rotation between goalkeepers at Matilda's level.
Yeah, Mackenzie Arnold, she offers something very different to Lydia Williams. She is probably the best keeper with her feet, so I imagine it really changes the way that we go forward from the back, and she'll be playing much as that deeper defender.
Australia got in a real pickle a couple of times the other day playing out from the back, but that is Alan Stagic's want.
Now, there's been a lot of talk about the Matildas and Saturday's performance, but Chile just executed a perfectly well-put strategy in terms of take your opportunities, be consolidated in defence, be compact.
Here's an opportunity for Australia after the turnover. Kellen Knight picking up Tamika Butt. Lagazzo is wider. That's who Butt was trying to work it towards. There's no free kick. In fact, it's going to go the other way for the handball by Butt.
Already early, you can see they're so very good at getting numbers back. You can see they've got their shape quite well. The back four set up perfectly. You've got to wonder, Tamika Butt, can she play early out wide? That's going to be key for the Matildas' success today, using that width.
Endler going long. There's a confidence booster for Gemma Simon, winning that aerial duel. Both Newcastle Jets co-captains in the W League. Out there in the starting 11, Simon and Van Egmond. Chloe Lagazzo, amazing stat, a favourite of Alan Stagic, clearly. She started each and every game this calendar year. The only player to have appeared in each and every game, and she's been a starter every time.
Well, she's the player with the most amount of minutes, isn't she? And
little flick off Gemma Simon will lead to the first corner of the game.
They started positively here, Chile. You can see that they're not shy going forward. That was a good direct ball with plenty of options off the ball. And they're going to be a very different outfit with Rojas starting on the right.
And just after half-time, Carla Guerrero, the number 3, scored the other day from a set piece. Holkinghorn picking her up. They're on the move in the middle, near post delivery. Dealt with by Kellen Knight at the expense of another corner.
See, they're looking for the near post. They don't have the height to be able to compete with the defence of Australia. I'm not sure if that was intended for the near post.
Now Lara, they took it short, and Van Egmond able to head clear. Foot race on between Polkinghorn and Guerrero. Araya, the anchor in midfield. Back to the star of the show the other day, Endler, a fabulous goalkeeper, plays her club football in France with the powerhouse that is PSG. Lopez had her leg clipped there by Lagazzo. Broke the way of her teammate anyway. Now Rojas. Lopez being forced backwards by Kellen Knight. So much of the ball coming out to this right-hand side towards Rojas. Now forward. Kerr. Van Egmond is leading the line right now. Carpenter overlapping. Has Butt in support. Can go inboard towards Kellen Knight. Goes to the feet of Kerr, who then gives away the foul.
Well, you could see there that second phase play. They just need to show the patience. It wasn't on. They weren't able to break through Ellie Carpenter. Just needs to come back out, show the patience and build up that we're used to seeing from this team.
Sam Kerr described game one as a game which saw them unable to put their chances away in that opening stanza, and it came back to bite them. That's the way she described it. She felt like she was guilty of wasting some opportunities, so expect her to be ruthless tonight at a venue where she brought the backflip out last year in that 3-2 win over Brazil. She's going to get the ball here perhaps. No, Lara sees to that.
Well, between Lara and Araya, done such a good job. That was a close one. Such a good job at actually closing off that line. Ball into Sam Kerr.
Nice ball from Gallas, laid off by the birthday girl, Zamora. And that's clipped over the top delightfully by Lopez. Ayedel will track it down ahead of Carpenter. And Lara this team just growing in confidence with each and every game at international level.
Well, that's some really good football there. We earned the right to be able to switch that out to the left, and much talked about that player on screen, Aedo. She has been outstanding. Talked about her in the pre-match. Nelly Carpenter might have had nightmares about her. She's not someone you want to give too much space. Equally, you're not allowed to dive in on her. She'll carve you up.
Emma Simon and Alana Kennedy both on the comeback trail from injuries. Simon had a really bad knee injury that required surgery at the end of the last W League season. Spent much of this calendar year rehabbing from that. Cross comes Sayers. As Kerr looked to get that quick throw going for Carpenter. There's another one into Kellen Knight this time. Kerr in the wide area. Ford in the middle, the target of that cross. Polkinghorne stepping up. Good hold-up play by Butt. Oh, she improvised brilliantly there. Showed too much of it, though, to Lopez, and then gave away the foul.
Well, that was excellent skill there from Tamika Butt. She'd been handed a pretty difficult ball from Kellen Knight and brought this down beautifully. Let's see. Excellent skill there. Gives away the free kick. She's been lively early.
A Melbourne City player now in the W League, after spending a lot of time the last couple of years playing in Norway with Klepp, where she's been banging in the goals. So she'll be looking for a sight or two of Endler's goal tonight. Australia were earning a spot kick at this stage of the game on Saturday afternoon to take the lead. Around Polkinghorne. Nice little cut back inside. Poked clear by Holtz. Now Aedo. But back inside her own area. Ford is the outlet. It's disappointing from Ellie Carpenter. Her pass completion rate was down the other day.
Well, it's interesting. I imagine that they've gained a lot more respect after Saturday for their opposition. Not to say they didn't have it. However, you could see that they're just a little bit reluctant to go forward, and Ellie Carpenter being one of those. There's a lot of mind games going on between Aedo and Ellie Carpenter. She's so used to just bombing forward, but when you've got defensive duties on a player like that, it makes you think twice. So this is part of Ellie Carpenter's learnings at right back. Knowing when to go, knowing when to stay, knowing when to take risks.
Kennedy looking for the feet of Kerr. It was a tight squeeze getting balls into Australia's striker the other day. Now Kellen Knight going to slide that one through to Lagazo, who's looking for one in behind. Gallas back to Endler, under pressure. Little nudge there from Kellen Knight, which Lara wasn't happy about. Lost the boot as well, but it's play on for Australia. Whipped in with real pace by Ford, so good defending by Sayers. Now Ford, back to Kellen Knight. Always looking for a teammate, only ever scored one international goal. Now Polkinghorne, eyes lighting up, coming a long way out of defence. And there's a player down on the edge of her own area for Chile. So play will stop here for Guerrero.
You might get to see it on the replay, but Chile, it must have been talked about prior to this match how narrow they defend. The Matildas really need to work this out. You can see they're back six, but this is hit Guerrero here. Obviously just winded. Take a break here, but They really need to work it out early, use this width.
They've got that club combo in the heart of defence for Chile. Both play with Rayo Vallecano in Spain. Back to Kennedy. Well, Australia's centre-halves are not shy of stepping out, are they? And joining the attack. Now Lagazo. Overlapping run by Simon. Good ball. And Van Egmond was trying to lay that off for Kerr. Australia with real attacking intent. Is she onside? Flag will go up here against Lagazo.
Oh, well, this didn't work out, but I love it from Gemma Simon. There's been a lot of calls for specialised left backs to be used in this Matildas squad, and she is one of them. You can see I love this. She only had one intention, that was to go forward. And she's onside there, Chloe Lagazo. She steps back too. So it's a tough call. However, really positive signs on the left here. And I got to watch a bit of the open training session. The crossing and finishing was much better, and it looks like Gemma Simon started well.
Oh, got the ball stuck under her feet for a moment there, did Sayers, but didn't panic. And Butt was trying to kill that, but Polkinghorne was in retreat mode. Fourth all-time on Australia's appearance list. Claire Polkinghorne now with 112 caps under her belt. Kennedy. Great little move to get rid of Rojas. Simon earning her 8th cap this evening. Able to turn is Ford. Carpenter bombing on down that right-hand side. Ford's found her. Kerr the target. Lagazo really difficult to get over the top of that one.
10 out of 10 for the build-up play. The ball just needs to be across the face of goal. There's been plenty of talk about it, but I love that Caitlin Ford's she's been able to get in behind the lines, and then the ball was played out early to Ellie Carpenter. That ball just needs to be played in front of Sam Kerr. And 9 times out of 10, that's where Ellie Carpenter will play it.
There was another option too, just roll it back on the cutback for a choice of players. Van Egmond and Ford were both there with a really simple ball rolled in behind.
And it was talked about, and we did get to see it yesterday. And it's frustrating, I imagine, for the strikers making runs into the box.
Now Van Egmond's made a run, but all alone in the middle. Van Egmond tried to tee her up, and then the opportunity was gone. And now Kellen Knight gives away the foul.
Well, that's some exceptional movement here from Sam Kerr and Emily Van Egmond. There's such an understanding. Katie Gill called for Emily Van Egmond to be playing higher, and you can see why. She makes that run in. She saw the space, and she made the ball. Well, she directed where that ball was to be played here. And Kellen Knight, professional foul.
Van Egmond scored Australia's only goals on the weekend, both from the penalty spot. They'll be looking to score 1 or 2 from open play tonight. Get their confidence up there. It's the final international for the Matildas in 2018. Trying to improve on their worst winning percentage since 2009. Only 6 wins out of the 16 games so far this year. Zamora was onside there. Just getting away from her down breeze.
See, there's that early chance there. Caitlin Ford makes that first touch and shows and goes. Ellie Carpenter, you see she didn't take that final look up to see where the runs were made. It just needed to be placed along the ground. And it's frustrating to watch because you know these opportunities can turn the game.
Van Egmond striding out. Lagazo staying onside. Van Egmond to Simon. Patience being shown by the Matildas. Kellen Knight finds an angle. Back to Lagazo. Making it alive for Simon. Oh, then a disappointing pass at the end of it all. The easiest one of the lot. Nathan's actually given that free kick, interestingly, against Lopez. Australia will take that one.
She looked like Chloe Lagazo had her studs up at one point there, but this is where the Matildas need to add to their game. Sometimes it takes a full half of football, even into the second half, to break teams down. They need to keep their head up, keep their patience. I think they've been so used to scoring early goals, and when they don't come, a little frustration starts to creep into the Matildas match.
Kellen Knight just dropping that little bit deeper. Versatile player, of course, playing that left-back role on Saturday. Much more at home in the heart of midfield at the current stage of her career. And Egmont keeping this one alive. All too tight in there, and the foul given away by Kennedy. Well, there's nothing doing there. Referee says play on. Lagazo. Again, just shutting down the passing lane successfully, Chile. Credit to them for that. They're trying to launch something through Lara, but with a high work rate, getting back, but she stumbled. And now a chance for Chile. What a ball that is, out in front of Rojas. Teammates surging into the area now. Maria Jose Rojas, punched clear by Arnold, and helped on by Kellen Knight. Australia back in good numbers there in the end. But now Araya is going to take on the strike, and Mackenzie Arnold, did she get a fingertip on him? I think she did. May have been going over anyway, but that's brilliant athleticism by the shot stopper to concede the corner.
Well, this is textbook Chile. When they get in that final third, they are so efficient. You can see here, Rojas waits for support. She doesn't play that early, lines up Gemma Simon, can't get the cross. An advantageous position for a striker, but this is textbook. This is what they're known for. Shots from well out, and that was close, that one.
I think it's going well over. There are a lot of goalkeepers that get beaten by shots that just go under the crossbar, but Mackenzie Arnold's not one of those. She has great reach. This one punched deep, and that's last touch off Chile. Well, should have been. Corner's been given.
Sayers is probably the target.
All four corners in this game been won by Chile so far. It's a poor execution that time by Karen Araya, 28-year-old. Australia looking to keep the game up tempo. Have confidence to go to Kellen Knight in that situation, don't they? Because she can make plays like that. Little pass around the corner. And now the attacking move winds up with Carpenter. Drops the shoulder, gets to the byline. Great ball in. Oh, Lagazo couldn't keep it down. There was plenty of traffic in the road, but that's a great ball by the right back.
Well, great work there from Ellie Carpenter. She really lined up Leighton. You could see she was always going to take this to the byline. She cuts inside and then takes that last pass. And Chloe Lagazo was hanging out the back perfectly, just needed to hit top right corner. Matilda's on the press here now.
How hard is it to hit top right corner from that situation?
Well, it's hard. She timed to run well. However, she was quite static when the ball did reach her. It would have been much better if she had met it. It's better work there from Ellie Carpenter. She held the ball up, lined up Leighton at the right moment, played it.
Nice ball dropped over the top by Kennedy to Lagazo. Plays in a lot of different roles, and looks like she's struggling a bit out near the left-hand sideline.
Well, she played in the 10 role, and I don't think that suits her. She obviously played there for Sydney FC for many years under Alan Stajic, but she's played, the majority of 2017 and 18 out wide, and I feel like she's a little bit off her game at the moment.
That was a suspect throw. The referee said play on, and Australia benefit from it. Carpenter not giving up on this one. And it's a goal kick. Last touch off the teenager, who became the youngest ever scorer in the NWSL this year in the United States, just 22 days after her 18th birthday, and played with the very successful Portland Thorns and played in a lot of big games with them.
Well, I'm happy to see that she started really positively. She's really asking questions of Aedo. Aedo's having to do a serious amount of defensive work early on, and that matters in the mind games.
You can see the effect of the breeze, can't you? A lot of the balls Chile are playing going over the top. Part of the reason they've been able to accumulate all those corners so far. Often a factor here in Newcastle.
Well, you can see when they set up, they do not want Kellen Knight to get that ball. They've opened up the space because of it.
Olkinghorn gives Carpenter another one to chase. That's emphatic defending by Camilla Sayers. And Carpenter does go forward, then Caitlin Ford slots in for it in that right back role, a position she's familiar with, of course, but you've got to be disciplined in that role when you see your teammate bombing on. Someone's got to drop in for her. She's still back there right now, so Carpenter staying forward. Lugazzo double teaming on Lopez. Coolly done by Endler. Aedo. Carpenter still playing high up the pitch.
This Chile team at the moment, they're playing like a top 10 team.
It's going to be tough to track down a ball like that. Getting away from Aedo.
That was a brilliant passage of play. They are so comfortable on the ball. It's such a joy to watch when they get it right. They move it around until they can break down those lines.
Chile, the first team to beat the Matildas in New South Wales since 2007. Trying to go back to back, and there's some half chances opening up for them as well. Through ball, just eluding Zamora. Again, the double team, getting the players there, and Butt's a frustrated figure right now. She's gone down clutching her ankle there as well after putting the challenge in on Aedo. Let's hope Tamika Butt's okay. She's had a problem with injuries in recent years.
She's been caught late here. She's asking questions of the referee. She's coming behind Aedo. Well, it's a fair challenge in the end. She's calling for a late clip.
Well, I sort of get where Tamika Butt's coming from, because there's a tangle of legs there, and Aedo doesn't miss the opportunity to just give Butt's ankle a little tweak. Not on the same wavelength. Gallas with Zamora. That's an extravagant attempt by Kennedy to release Kerr with the outside of the right boot.
Well, it has to be stated that Guerrero has been doing such a good job on Sam Kerr. She's dropping really early, so the ball behind the defence is absolutely not on. And she's tight enough to make a challenge here.
No advantage really accruing there after Kerr was seemingly fouled. There's plenty going on, isn't there? 50-50 contest right across the pitch. The referee was trying to play an advantage there, but didn't wind up accruing for Chile, who were hacked a couple of times.
Well, it frustrates Kerr, and you can see that then she starts to drift out wide, and then she starts to drift back into the midfield to pick up the ball, and that really moves Australia away from what they're good at.
Well done by Butt. The way she approached that ball, it was clever. Now Kerr found. The layoff did no favours to Lagazo. Not can Australia work this time. Polkinghorne looking for Ford. Carpenter getting behind Aedo again. Good use of the body by Sayers. Knight cushioning it. Tidied up by Araya. She's picked up a little knock as well. So the challengers are willing right now, and there's going to be a few bruises at that recovery session tomorrow for both teams. And look at that from Araya. Again, unfortunately, in the way the wind is going, it's going to get away from Rojas. Brilliant technique, though, by the number 8.
Well, that you can see that's the outlet there, Rojas. She's got a lot of speed. Quite crafty when she does pick up the ball. Gemma Simon, though, read it. And as you said, the wind has taken that one. They might sit up in the second half.
Again, they get 2 players on the Matildas and create another turnover.
They have been, this entire series, been so good without the ball. The defensive discipline, their shape, the resting defence, sometimes there's a little bit left to be desired. There's been plenty of counter opportunities for the Matildas. It's probably the only thing that you can fault for them.
Again, Araya just winning it back easily. Now Polkinghorne stepping out. Aedo. Araya. Aedo will get there again. Rojas just on her heels a little bit. That's why the ball ran away from her. Aedo was hoping she might be able to run onto it. And Lopez. Reflection on the strike. Credit Lagazo for getting her body in the road.
There's definitely a theme. The Matildas are trying to speed up the intensity and the speed in which this game's been played at. Chile very, very happy to slow it down.
Rojas with a couple to beat. Trying to play for the corner. And then she takes a tumble in the corner of the box. Nothing doing.
Calling for an elbow to the face here. Well, she possibly did get a touch there. You can see the Matildas, 3 players. No one's taking any risks on Rojas. It's fair to say they're controlling this match very well now. They're slowing the pace of the game down. It's not suiting the Matildas.
Getting all the second balls right now as well. Araya happy to go back to Endler. Polkinghorne took a little tumble after winning that header. Gaza a little aimless, and Leighton able to deal with it. Now Australia have a chance to get forward. Polkinghorne immediately to Ford. Tricks her way past the couple. Chile now back in numbers. Polkinghorne drops one in, but on the move. And that was a good chance as well to hit it first time. Didn't get the connection she was after.
Well, that was a difficult one. It was coming across the body. Polkinghorne, beautiful ball in. Difficult to hit first time. I thought she was a bit further out. She possibly could have hit that first time. But it's better play from the Matildas.
And Kerr was putting a little block on as well, but probably could have taken another touch or 2 the way it was opening up for it. Now Kerr, lovely first touch. Nominated for the inaugural Women's Ballon d'Or, which will be presented next month. Sam Kerr in the mix, the two-time Golden Boot winner in the NWSL in the United States. Also the Young Australian of the Year, of course. Very popular. They don't like the way she came off second best there, the Australian fans. And they turn around the Aussies. And now the pace of Zamora. Got clear of Polkinghorne. The birthday girl. Oh, it's a good save. Reactions at a near post from Mackenzie Arnold to stop Chile taking the lead.
Well, she's bringing the crowd into it. She still manages to get a meaningful shot away too. She held it up. She didn't have the support she needed in the box, but hasn't she been outstanding?
Backheel comes off for Leighton. A couple of backhills between her and Aedo. That's going to be offside, that. Pass that shouldn't really be played, but they got a little overexcited.
Well, they're building in confidence. And if you're a Matildas fan, when the Chileans get up in that final third, you know something special is going to happen. They are so dangerous with the ball. And that attack was one out, but Zamora was able to hold up play. And the Matildas had enough players in the box as well, forcing Mackenzie Arnold to make that save.
And she is a two-time W League goalkeeper of the year, Mackenzie Arnold. Had to play second fiddle to Lydia Williams for a long, long time, but maybe putting some pressure on to see who's number one at next year's World Cup. Van Egmont turning into space. Lovely distribution outside of the boot to Lagazo. Simon's on the move again. That pass a little too straight, doing the left back no favours. Then she was caught after that clearance by Guerrero. Nothing doing. Pass well squeezed there by Van Egmont. Again, just overhit by Lagazo. Ford putting some pressure on Aedo. And out for the corner, so good pressing. One out by Caitlin Ford.
Well, you could see Leighton not happy with that. They do not want to give the Australians any cheap corners, and you could call that one of them. They know they've got another gear to go to in terms of set pieces, attacking set pieces. I imagine they would have spent hours on this. Undercapitalised on Saturday.
A bonus corner, really, their first of the night. Kellen Knight delivers, and Endler able to punch clear. Too close to the goalkeeper, that delivery. Into the Aussie bench goes Francisca Lara. Kellen Knight, there's rotation in that front third again. Kerr out here on the left wing. That was the target.
That was well read from Gallas. They really just set up perfectly their back four.
This referee a stickler for where the ball goes out of play for those throw-ins. Unusual. Now Lagazo in behind. Can she deliver this time? Again, they get a foot in the road. That time it was Sayers coming across from the central defensive position. Lagazo tries again. The numbers favoured Chile. Polkinghorne, not sure where it had gone, but Kellen Knight was there to tidy up. Lagazo again getting so much ball. And that's a terrible ball. She's out of sorts tonight, unfortunately.
She is. That was a perfectly timed run earlier. However, she's just, you can see there's a reluctance or hesitation in her game at the moment. Maybe it's confidence. But she's definitely not playing at the standard that we expect of her. We've become accustomed to watching.
Kennedy, great first touch under pressure. Why the referee blows the whistle is beyond Alana Kennedy. And now the ball's been kicked away with a time-wasting tactic, and they're just winding up Australia, and so is the referee right now. I mean, Kennedy's won that cleanly. Well, starting a promising attack, and it gets brought back.
Well, there really should be a yellow card here for Lopez for kicking the ball away. It was absolutely clear as day. And you're right, they're frustrating the Matildas right now. It is a perfectly executed game plan.
Australia dropping deep. This time Chile clock off a little, but then they get the bodies in the road when they have to. And Kennedy, a frustrated figure, chops down the birthday girl.
Well, she's picked up the ball, and she's also picked up Zamora. And I think this is a bit of tit for tat here. The Matildas need to keep their cool. They can't be drawn into this type of football. And as you can see, I've mentioned it plenty of times, they're trying to speed up play, the Matildas. The quicker this game's played at, the quicker they can move this defence out, draw players out of position. You can see Chile trying to do the exact opposite. It's working.
Jose Letelier, a winner of the Copa Libertadores as a player and also as a coach with their women's team back in 2012. Wasn't the starting goalkeeper back in the 90s when his team won it. Now they've taken the throw in quickly here. Ford buying some time. Looking to put it across the face for Lagazo. Carpenter will keep this one in, and now there's some extra teammates in the box. Ellie delivers deep. Van Egmond brings it down. Lagazo. And they got two in the road for the successful block. But Australia trying to finish the half strongly. There's a player down in the box right now. That's Lara getting back to her feet. Australia play on. Carpenter with another nice cross a moment ago, this time along the deck for Kerr. Ford trying to play butt in behind, but they're so good and so adept at shutting down those passing lanes in just about each and every situation.
Well, you've got to talk about the work rate, because they're getting numbers forward, but equally they are getting at least 6 or 7 players back to be able to handle the top three, and then obviously the attacking mids that are making runs forward.
Well done by Gallas. Knew she was a chance of getting on the end of her own ball. And the header on the end of it, Zamora, well defended by Polkinghorne. The release was pretty handy too to Lagazo.
Well, that's the chance there for the Matildas. They do push numbers forward. They leave themselves exposed at the back.
Kerr again presents the layoff. Again, up in the air, but Ford made the most of it. Kellen Knight somehow kept it alive, but broken up in the end by Lara. Some of the passing, it's a little thing, Walshy, but the amount of balls that are going in the air and not giving your teammates the best chance rather than along the deck.
It is a little thing, but it's creating a challenge every time. The Matildas have to fight for it to be able to even keep the ball. Play it on the right side of a player. It allows them to play it first time or play the runner first time. And they've not been able to do that because every single ball has been a fight and a challenge. And it is absolutely playing into the Chileans' hands. And they're winning every second ball. They're winning every challenge.
And they're kicking the ball away there when Australia won the offside decision. Again, they appeal in vain for a yellow card for time wasting, but hopefully the minutes are added on at the end, giving them the best opportunity to get a full 45 minutes of playing action in this half. We'll wait and see. Kerr. Around Gallas. Oh, terrible challenge at the end of it all. And here comes the first booking of the evening. It may be your first foul, but it's a shocker from Sue Helen Gallas on Kerr, and worthy of the caution.
And this was only going to end one way, wasn't it? Gallas trying to make sure that she gets back to cover Sam Kerr, who was always going to cut this back on her right-hand side. That's a terrible challenge. Late and a little bit clumsy. Oh, she's got her studs up there too.
Fortunately and unfortunately, Kerr knows how to handle herself. Subject to that kind of treatment. Plenty. And now back off the post. Kennedy denied. Towering over her opponent. A great delivery in. And Australia that close to the opener. Now a counter-attack is on. Right through the middle goes Zamora. Kellen Knight. That's brilliant to get back and roll it to her keeper. And Kerr a little footing around the corner, but she's offside. The flag is up, and I think that's the right call.
And stuff here, but this is what the Matildas have been trying to do for how many minutes now? Get it on the head of Alana Kennedy, one of their big, taller players who can actually attack this, and she does just that. And it's millimetres away from going in. And that's got to build the confidence for the Matildas. It's a nightmare situation for the Chileans. It's what they've been trying to avoid, and they've been so successful at doing that.
Clever little back heel. Holding Hort, winning that little duel with Lara. Bouncing ball, butt red at best.
There's no doubt the referee's been allowing this to flow freely.
You think?
Well, I like it in a way, but obviously she's pulled the card out on Gallas. However, there's been plenty of challenges that she's let things go. I like that.
Now Australia trying to find their groove, but again, Butt and Kerr not on the same wavelength. Straight into the back of Butt. It breaks the way of Van Egmond. Forward. Carpenter wants it played in behind. Now it goes her way. Can she get there? Ball and all challenge from Guerrero, who's asking for the goal kick. It'll be a corner.
It's one of the few opportunities the Matildas have been able to scramble the defence tonight of the Chileans. One of the rare occasions they didn't have their back four set. You could see that Gallas wasn't in position, opened up this huge amount of space. The ball just a bit too far out for Ellie Carpenter.
A lot of Aussies in amongst that 6-yard box. Kellen Knight delivering short. Trying to improvise a little flick on was Van Egmond. It's out for take two for KK.
Well, it is quite interesting. You've got Alana Kennedy already starting in the box. I imagine we're going to see one or two of them peel back out for it.
Now, Endler not at all happy with the way that an Australian lashed out, in her opinion. Presumably it's Caitlin Ford that she thinks has given one to go on with to Araya.
We'll watch Caitlin Ford here, calling for a possible elbow.
Right under the goalkeeper. Oof. Wow. No VAR tonight. But there will be at next year's World Cup, and Caitlin Ford, I'm not sure you're going to get away with that next year. The Aussies watching it on the big screen. KK looking for a flick on. And it should be a corner on the other side. Goal kick given. Australia thought they'd pulled the right rein. They thought that flick on initially was going towards goal here.
Well, look at this set piece here. They've got all their tall timbers. The centre of the box. Flick on for Sam Kerr, who's waiting outside. I've got to ask the question, is that the option when you've got that height advantage? We got to see earlier Alana Kennedy attacking the ball, coming from deep. It kind of plays into the hands of the defence of the Chileans.
Did look like last touch off Lara, but now Chile have a chance to go forward, and again it's Kellen Knight thwarting the attempted through ball. Just the 1 minute of stoppage time added on. And we're halfway through that. This will be the final play of the half. Can Lara dish out? She goes with a bit of power, a bit too much. The referee says that'll do us for the first half. It's goalless. Australia frustrated by Chile tonight. Tori Lagazo had a pretty good chance. Sam Kerr's been quiet by her standards, and Alana Kennedy hit the post with a header. Chile know they have to keep their focus in the second half. But at the break, it's Australia 0, Chile 0. So far, so good for the visitors again. Hunting famous results back-to-back. Let's get some reaction now. Elise Cowan-Knight with Heather Miller.
Thanks, V. Thanks very much, Elise. Pretty tight there the first half.
Yeah, I thought it was a good half of football. Both teams are trying to play, so it's an enjoyable match.
Yeah, and what's going to change in the second half? Do you think you need to push towards the goals, more opportunities?
Yeah, we need to be a little bit more patient and composed in the opposition half. I think it breaks down a little bit in the front third, so I think a bit more composure will help us a lot.
Emily, good luck in the next half, okay? And we'll hopefully get those goals.
Thanks, guys.
We're off to a break here on Fox Sports. We'll be back after this. Tara, Sarah, and Walsh, you have all your recap. Sorry? Oh, okay. So package one is Oz Chances. Yep. Let's talk about that. Yep.
I can hear you.
What's the highlight? It was off her head, right? Post. And that was from an EVE corner. Free kick, sorry. Yep.
Of women's football and, of course, the Westfield midfielders. Now, we do have another Westfield $200 voucher to give away, and my lucky speaker here is Michaela. Michaela, nice to see you this evening. Are you enjoying the game so far? And who's your favourite player and why? Why is she your favourite player?
Welcome to the 7 Consulting International Series between the Matildas and Chile. And right there on your screen are the stars of the future. The Matildas in the making, you've got to say. This part of the LD Mini Roos that are playing, where you can start your football playing from here. The young girls, it is so much fun. There's a couple on the ground, but geez, it looks like a lot of fun to be playing football. You can get involved. Just head to ldminiroos.com.au. Perhaps a couple of Sam Kerrs in there, perhaps a couple of Alana Kennedys, that we'll see how they go. Welcome back to the Matildas v Chile. I'm Tara Rushton, joined by Sarah Walsh and Kate Gill. Well, ladies, 0-0 it stands, but it hasn't been from lack of trying. You've got to say, for the Matildas, Ellie Carpenter, perhaps with a point to prove down that right-hand side, will be finding a fair amount of joy.
Yeah, I think she's been really good. She's been able to beat that left back, Leighton, and then create the opportunities. I think there's still a lot to do around the service, Katie. I mean, it needs to be low and hard across. First opportunity you can talk to, it wasn't just that.
No, it wasn't that. It's that choice that you're talking about there, Walshy. I mean, that ball, if it's played low and hard and Sammy's making a front post run, then that's a tap-in. Yep. But when you're delivering a ball like that and she's in two minds and it gets overweighted, then Chloe's on her back foot as well. Again, here, Ellie's been really great. I think she's done a fantastic job. She's definitely drops the shoulder, gets past the player, delivery in the box. Again, for me, Chloe needs to be attacking that. She's in there too early. She needs to time her run better. That's a chance on goal.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think that the positive thing is that they've been able to create the attack. Second phase here, you can see that the runs have been recycled. You've got to wonder, could Chloe Lagazo hit that first time? For me, she's been a little bit off tonight. But look, I like the movement. I think there's really no need to be panicked right now. I think they probably expected to be 2-3 goals up, and that's just not the case in international football anymore.
No, and I mean, Chile have been smart in the way that they've played it. They've really driven the tempo of this game. They've been patient, they've kept possession, they've circulated the ball, and I think they're really starting to frustrate the Matildas.
Someone that's frustrated Chile and came incredibly close to frustrating them a lot was Alana Kennedy, and this is what we were talking about was lacking in our first game in Penrith. The free kick, the set-piece opportunity, and someone like Alana Kennedy popping up.
Yeah, look at the size advantage for Alana Kennedy on Sayers. The ball in too was perfect. The run was perfect. I'd love to see this on corners. What we just got to see on a couple of the other set pieces, they were crowding the keeper, and we absolutely need our Tor Timber attacking the ball at pace.
Yeah, we sure do. I mean, we have Alana and we have Claire, and that's where they score their goals, and it's that static movement in the box. It's not causing Chile any trouble at all.
It's playing into their hands. Average height is Katrina Gorry's height, my height. It's kind of just quite simple science.
You do look taller tonight, though.
Oh, well, I'm standing on a box.
We'll talk about the camera chicks later, but it hasn't all been one-way traffic because Chile have had their opportunities. Mackenzie Arnold has been called into action. You've got to see they've got a bit of pace on them, Kate. Zamora was on fire.
Oh, Zamora was fantastic. I think there was one stage there where she left one of our players just for dead. I didn't know she was that pacey, but she did a fantastic job. But for me, Roas here, she's one-on-one. She takes an opportunity, she cuts it back, and there's almost a chance there for Chile. Obviously, Mackenzie gets a hand to it. But they have been really industrious in that front third, and they've looked dangerous when they're on the ball.
They're not frightened, are they, at all? You can tell they've got a bit of confidence about them, Walshy.
Yeah, it's almost like, and look, I don't want to talk like there's no respect for them. They're ranked 39th. The Matildas should simply be better right now. However, they're playing like a top 10 team, and I think it's shocked the Matildas. I cannot talk to how efficient they have been in that final third. It's clear strategy for them that when they get there, when they get their chances in front of goal, they're going to take them. There's 5 yellow shirts in the box. Simply we're set up defensively perfectly. However, she still gets a shot away and causes Mackenzie Arnold issues. They have simply one of the best teams I've seen with minimal chances in front of goal. The confidence that they show, they are not ranked 39th in terms of international football at all.
Well, they are, unfortunately, but they are playing incredibly well. What are we going to have to do then come the second half, Kate? Because you can see they're not afraid to play that long ball and just use the afterburners to get in front of our back four.
No, they're not, and we don't want to play into their hands either. We don't want to get frustrated, and I think the most promising thing for me has been when Elise Keller-Knight has been on the ball. She can dictate that, and when Emily's picked it up, and there's been a couple of opportunities where the passes has actually opened up channels and they've played forward, and they've played forward quickly, but then along the front line, we're too one-dimensional. We're really flat. We need a bit of like forward, backwards. We need someone coming in, someone dropping back. We need some more options up front.
Someone that's obviously creating a little bit about her, but she always does, is Caitlin Ford as well, because she did have a bit of an opportunity here, but you can tell that she's got a bit of pace about her.
Yeah, so what's happening is we haven't been able to break down the lines through passing, and someone like Caitlin Ford can pick up the ball and actually beat that first player, which absolutely scrambles the defence because they were player for player at that point. They need more of that. They need Sam Kerr coming back, and when she has done that, picked up the ball, I think they've been really dangerous, but I think the passing game has been off in the first half. They need to be better. But Caitlin Ford running at the defence, there's no better sight, really.
Especially the overlapping work that you've seen as well from Ali Carpenter and Caitlin Ford. Looking at the second half, then, are you expecting perhaps Alan Stajic to make a couple of changes? We know that we've got Lisa Devanna on the bench. Chloe Lagazo perhaps a little bit flat. She has played so much football.
Yeah, look, I think changes will definitely be made, and Lisa's probably the obvious one to come on with that impact that she creates for the game and also the pace that she adds up front. For me, maybe Emily Gilnick might get a run just to change things up a little bit, and her delivery is fantastic as well. And if we start getting efficient balls in the box and start attacking them, then hopefully we put some in the back of the net.
Yeah, we did see how effective she was in our first game over in Penrith, of course. We're off to a quick break. We have a huge second half coming up here at McDonald Jones Stadium between the Matildas and Chile and the Seven Consulting International Series. Walshy back to commentary, but we will be back at full time. See you soon.
Of a classic rivalry. Can Australia finish the half on top? Oh my goodness! Massimo Luongo! First blood in the Asian Cup final to Australia. Here's the chance. Son Heung-min inside the box. They've scored! Son Heung-min in stoppage time! Oh, what drama, what joy for South Korea! And what despair for Australia! Still we go on. Juric has wriggled his way clear. Chance! Goal! For Australia! James Troisi! Can that win the Asian Cup? Oh boy! Listen to this! They've done it! They have done it, Australia! History created! Well, the resumption of a classic rivalry. Can Australia finish the half on top? Oh my goodness! Massimo Luongo! First blood in the Asian Cup final to Australia. Here's the chance. Son Heung-min inside the box. They've scored! Son Heung-min in stoppage time! Oh, what drama, what joy for South Korea! And what despair for Australia! Still we go on. Juric has wriggled his way clear. Chance! Goal!
rematch of that 2015 Asian Cup final is coming your way on Saturday night on Fox Sports. Australia against South Korea, and then Tim Cahill's farewell next Tuesday night as Australia, the Socceroos, take on Lebanon in his hometown of Sydney. Looking forward to bringing you those two games over the next week. But right now the focus is on the Matildas, and they are out there ready to go for the second half. There's no sign of their opposition just yet. Sarah Walsh, what do you think the main chat from Alan Stajic would have been at the break?
Well, I think patience. And we've said it plenty of times. There's been plenty of times the Matildas haven't been able to score a goal in the first half, and you can see that it's unsettling them not being able to break down and actually create a result every time they go forward. They just need to show some patience. Interestingly, there's been some set pieces for me that I don't think have really fell in the favour of the Matildas. I'd like to see that be a little bit more positive, balls into the box and runs into the box. But all in all, I think they can't get drawn into this type of football that the Chileans are starting to play, sorry. They're drawing them into a slower game. They need to keep the intensity up.
No changes for either team at the break. We're ready to go for the second half. Chile to kick things off. This game being beamed live back to Chile as well. At 5:30 in the morning was the kickoff time. And they are getting right behind the Red ahead of their first World Cup appearance next year in France. Australia are regular World Cup qualifiers now. Once again, Australia just had the ball there, but the referee decided a free kick was the better option. Mentioned a lot in the first half the fact that Chile were going down breeze. Now it's Australia's turn. Do teams even discuss that at halftime?
Well, I think in terms of execution and service, absolutely. Just something to be mindful of.
See what Australia dish up here. Out comes Endler. Good claim. Just getting away from Van Egmond to the advantage of the goalkeeper. He really does take command of her box when she can.
You can see how much that held up there. That wasn't doing that in the first half for Endler. She really hasn't had too much to do. Been quite comfortable in the first half. I think that will change with the wind. It suits the speed that Australia have up top.
Lovely first time control by Kerr. Getting the stretch from Leighton, keeping it away from Carpenter, who was the target. It's a good throw in behind. But back to Carpenter. Didn't fancy the delivery on her left-hand side. Goes back to Polkinghorne. Lifted in towards Kerr. Again, Guerrero able to get that initial clearance away, but Australia should be able to pin Chile in the second half. Kerr just dropping off that front line. Polkinghorne advancing, tried the no-looker to Kerr, and they ignored Kellen Knight there, who was all alone in the middle, who's their best option taker.
Well, the Matildas really struggling when it's not through open play, where the Chileans actually sitting deep. They just need to recycle and actually draw defenders out of their position to create those holes.
Oh, brilliant by Ford. Tamika Butt. Oh, it eludes them at the back post. Van Egmond had a great chance, but couldn't get the connection. The build-up from Ford and Butt deserved a finish.
Well, this is excellent play here. You can see Caitlin Ford drops in early, and Tamika Butt makes that run beyond. They got lucky here, the Chileans. That's pure luck that that didn't go in.
Endler telling Leighton to go forward, but she goes back into the box, asking Sayers to deal with it. Kellen Knight playing for the free kick. Gets nothing. It's the visitors' throw. Saturday was the first time the Matildas have scored multiple goals and actually lost the game under Stajic. So he was upset about the defence gifting them a couple of goals, and now they're a chance. Chile. Aedo, tricky customer. Carpenter not giving up on that fight and winning the free kick at the end of it all. Tenacious stuff from the teenager.
Well, it's been great to watch these two on the left here, isn't it? There's so much class, Aedo.
Gaza might have used the hand there, getting away with it. Referee maybe blindsided. Kellen Knight summed it up pretty early where the option was. Goes to Lagazo. Van Egmond back to KK. Looking for Butt in behind, and she was onside, trying to go with the outside of the right boot.
Well, this is better here. The service in was excellent. Had just the right amount of bend. And you expect that from Kellen Knight on a left foot.
Has been scoring a lot of goals at club level, as mentioned, with Klepp in Norway. Scored that famous goal, the winner against the USA last year as well in the Tournament of Nations, did Tamika Butt. Australia got another result against the USA this year in the Tournament of Nations. Late equaliser for the Americans. So against elite opposition, Australia are going well in recent times, but it's against the lower ranked teams that they've struggled at times. Clever header by Polkinghorne to Kerr.
You can't deny that this will bode well for them. Playing against different styles, they spend so much time in Asia.
Too much on it from forward that time, trying to combine with Butt. Zamora proving a real handful. Gemma Simon got back. Lagazo. That's the decision, a little fortunately. Quickly to Ford. The ball back out with enough taste to Lagazo. Great run made here. That was the target. Well, Gallas was overlapping and Australia had clocked off a little there. Now Ford the other way. Kerr is steaming forward. Sam Kerr! There's your opener! Sam Kerr, who else? Off the pass from Caitlin Ford, and the Matildas on top against Chile. And those fans have come to roar on Sam Kerr, and she delivers.
Chile ran the gauntlet. They sent numbers forward. They sent too many and got caught on the counter here. And look at the run here from Sam Kerr. Make sure she times it well enough to be able to open herself up to play that far post. And Caitlin Ford, well, she attacks the space, doesn't she? She holds it up and waits. The weighted on that pass was absolutely perfect. And they got caught out. And they've been so organised up until this point. And Australia capitalised.
No back flippers yet, maybe for the second one, like last year here in Newcastle. But you've got to love that about Sam Kerr. She loves scoring goals, the 27th for her country. But the immediate point with the left hand and the right hand, making everyone well aware that Caitlin Ford's the reason she was able to open the scoring here tonight. Here goes Ford again. What an athlete, what a mover. Finds Butts inside. Can Australia go back to back? Van Egmond back to Lagazo. Along the deck. Ford in the back post to finish it all off. It is 2 in 2 minutes. Caitlin Ford, take a bow. She started it all. Back to her feet to finish it all off. Now the Matildas are humming.
Well, it's opened up, hasn't it? They were scrambling the defence. You look, they couldn't get back. Their shape, their back four was out of position. And again, they created that width, and then the runs into the box were perfect. But what was even better was the low and hard ball. And the finish, well, that is absolutely world class here from Caitlin Ford. She has very minimal room for error there, and she makes it. But it's such a tight angle, and she deserves that goal. She's the reason for the first one.
It was her only option. Turned 24 on Sunday, Caitlin Ford, and she scores the 12th goal for her country. And Endler was worried about the low shot, wasn't she? She's a 6-footer, Christiane Endler. And Caitlin Ford had only one option, that's to find the roof of the net from an acute angle like that. Wow, what a finish.
Oh, she's been outstanding at the times. We talked about it at half-time. They haven't not been able to break open this defence. They've been so compact through passing. So it's always required something special, and Caitlin Ford is just that.
Scored a couple of goals in the W League season opener, the Sydney Derby at Marconi a couple of weeks ago now, playing for Sydney FC. And there's always been that understanding between her and Sam Kerr as well, which we saw for the opener. Now Chile are under the pump. Carpenter back to Polkinghorne. Gemma Simon. And Lagazo staying high up on that left-hand side. Aedo back helping out. Lara has no one ahead of her. And Van Egmond didn't really need to commit that foul, but Chile will take it.
Well, what will be really interesting to see how Chile respond here. Will they want to speed the game up? Obviously a bit of scoreboard pressure now. See if they do change their approach to this match.
A lot of hang time here, and Polkinghorne over the top of her opposite number. Look at Butts. Brilliant. Oh, wow. She thought she was going to get away with that one. And the referee bails out Araya.
Well, there's been a change in the mood for the Matildas here. You can see there's just an air of confidence on the ball. Tamika Butt being one of those players, given a little bit of an opportunity there. She was off.
Ford. Whoop, left it behind at the end of it all. The adrenaline no doubt pumping through Caitlin Ford right now. What's that experience like while she's scoring for your country in front of a crowd like this?
Well, we didn't really have a crowd like this, to be perfectly honest, but look, she deserved that goal. I think she's been instrumental in our build-up.
Look at this build-up. Kerr's layoff. Van Egmond. She nearly caught out Endler the other day at Penrith from similar range. She's got it in her locker. Not to be on that occasion.
Well, much like Chile, they pushed too many numbers forward, which was the result, which resulted in the first goal. Over here, plenty of numbers forward for the Matildas. Wrong option there from Emily Van Egmond. And that's the thing. You've got to resist that urge to be able to either have that shot, still continue to make the right options in the final third.
Kerr now returning the favour. Caitlin Ford. Oh, good save, Endler. Making herself big. Beautiful through ball. And Ford couldn't finish it off.
Well, they're rattled here. There haven't been too many times where there's been a free player left inside the box.
Well, Kerr across the face. Too much pace on it. And a little behind Lagazo as well. Well, it really has been a different story, hasn't it? Down breeze in this second half. Australia were able to pin Chile in and heighten the pressure. Now Kerr, oh, nearly. Brilliant ball in by Van Egmond to give her striker a chance. There's a chance or two every minute right now. Van Egmond again. Beautiful ball to Ford. Look at a Carpenter. sprinting into the box. Forward to Butt, takes a tumble. Referee says get back to your feet. Waves off any penalty appeal. Zamora has run herself into the ground. Australia's fitness is shining through here. Kerr wants it to feet. No looker from Ford. It was such a good no-look pass that I think Kerr had given up on the fact that she was going to find it.
Well, the key here is that Chile have not been able to put their foot on the ball. They've not been able to slow down the game like they were in the first half. And it's happening at a speed that they're just clearly not comfortable with.
Kerr immediately to Ford. We can work an angle here to find Butt. Van Egmond, the width is there from Lagazo. Stepping around Gallas. Back heel for Simon. Didn't come off, but it should be coming back. Chilean players are throwing their hands up in frustration here as they are just under the pub. Oh, Carpenter, terrific ball in, and the Australians weren't really expecting that. They were all flat-footed in the middle.
Well, this is an excellent ball, exceptional in behind the defence.
Short corner routine. Did not work out, at least initially. Simon lifts one in. Araya. Good ball out. Counter-attack potential here. That's what Chile play for. Carpenter getting back ahead of Lara. Away was the cry. Simon just flicked it clear of Rojas initially. First time they've been in the attacking third for a long, long time. And now Australia can get it clear and try and launch a counter upon that counter. Ford. Runners in motion. Carpenter, unbelievable engine to present. And Leighton prevented it getting through. Van Egmond, will she take on the long-range strike again? She will. And can't keep this one down.
Well, they're under an immense amount of pressure here. As you said, Ellie Carpenter, so important. She makes that forward run, creates that overlap. But again, Sam Kerr has been able to pick up that ball. This is the goal. Well, sorry, that's the chance that Enela saved. And that's one of those rare times Caitlin Ford has been able to pick up the ball with no player and able to turn.
If she has her time again, do you try and go around the keeper in that kind of situation? Or you're happy with the shot?
Well, look, she had to have that. Enela made herself quite... She was a huge presence and cut off the near post. I think any other day she needs to keep that low.
Australia preparing their first change. Emily Gilnick not too far away. Chile's throw, which could prompt that change. Alan Stajic ready to execute it. Gets the message across. Emily Gilnick has a big game coming up on Friday night as well as the W League returns, the Melbourne Derby. And that'll provide a reshuffle because Gemma Simon off and Emily Gilnick on.
Yeah, we're going to see Kellen Knight at left back. She's had an excellent game, Gemma Simon. I think she's been very handy in defence, useful up top. She's created something different. She's very different to a Steph Catley or a Kellen Knight.
Great reception for the local Newcastle Jet as well. Fans very knowledgeable here. They knew she was one of the local players. They gave her a great reception. Gilnick straight into the fray. Made a really good impact off the bench in Penrith as well, which impressed Alan Stajic.
Yeah, she's definitely been adding to a game, especially at Victory. I think she's been quite useful. Everybody talks about how good her service is from out wide. That will be so important for set pieces, attacking set pieces. If we do get to see her, she can take those. She can whip in an excellent cross. You could see an excellent cross, the difference it does make.
Lovely deft little touch. Lagazzo's part of that reshuffle. She's now into midfield and playing a nice ball to Ford, who has 3 to beat here. There's Caitlin Ford. She skips through those challenges delightfully well. Well, Butt was onside there. Important clearance ahead of her. Advantage played for Chile. Not a lot ahead. Zamora's made a run. Easily cut out by Kennedy. There are some tired plays out there for the visitors. Gilnick inboard to Kerr, not giving up on that one.
We're still yet to see Santa Benez. I think she might be injured, so we didn't even get to see her in the first match. She's the preferred striker up top, and Zamora, as you mentioned, she's running on empty at the moment.
Mackenzie Arnold reacquainting herself with the ball in this second half. What a ball it is too. The distribution to Kellen Knight. Tried to release Kerr. Another learning experience for Chile, the way this second half is unfolding. Carpenter just couldn't kill it on the half volley. Ahedo, that trademark move. Nearly poked away by Kerr, and there might have been a way there had the Matildas won it back that high up the pitch. Ford again putting some pressure on Sayers, good enough to get around her that time. Leighton finds an angle. It's an angle that Chile don't give Australia, do they? But Australia just have to be on guard for giving up that kind of easy pass. Now Kerr is trying to slip it out to Ford. Polkinghorn with her presence just forced Lara into error. But can use Gilnick. It's providing the width. Nice little move, Emily Gilnick. Bending it to the back post, and Ford unable to get on the end of that one.
Well, that didn't result in anything, but you could see the pace and the accuracy she gets on that. If there was a back post run, this was a great ball.
Now Gilnick just harassing Guerrero. There is no way out of their defensive third with any ease right now. The referee also hemming them in, not letting them pinch 5 or 6 metres for the throw-in. Ford. Always looking for Kerr. Australia just forcing their opponents into retreat. Endler trying to advance, made a mistake. Ford pounces. Caitlin Ford past the keeper. Make it 2 for Caitlin Ford. It's a brilliant finish in the end. Had to hold off the defender who was trying to drag her to ground, but Ford knew she had a chance and she wasn't going to let it go by. 3-0 to the Matildas.
Well, she was relentless, wasn't she? You could see she never gave up on the play. She pushed Endler to the left, taking a bad touch. Very uncharacteristic-like, but look at the pullback on the shirt here from Guerrero. And the finish was absolutely exceptional. But that's a bad touch that you don't see from Endler. But Ford, she has been absolutely exceptional this second half. She's had a hand in everything. And that pressure, she's been coming off, dropping into the midfield, but that's an exceptional finish under pressure.
And the celebrations for the Aussies as well. Caitlin Ford missed last year's W League Grand Final, of course, with a plantar fascia. She's had some terrible injuries in her young career that's forced her to get back on that rehab trail, but it's great to see her back ahead of that World Cup next year. Chile have made a change during those goal celebrations. Fuenteo, who scored the other day, is on. And Araya, after good build-up, Just a little tardy with the finish. Aedo was who made way for Fuenteo.
Well, that's the key here for the Matildas. They need to stay disciplined in the back line. In their back, obviously, you've got to resist the urge to send players forward. Make sure that your rest defence is set up. That's how they'll be adding to their game now. Yes, they're up 3-0.
Now it's Mackenzie Arnold given the hurry up. Surely Australia's not wasting time now with a 3-0 lead. Breaks the way of Lagazo. One for Gilnick to chase. Takes on the strike. Oh, what a finish! Emily Gilnick making an impact off the bench again. The goals are flying in for the Matildas, showing all of their class now in their final game of 2018.
Oh, well, this is absolutely masterful here from Emily Gilnick, who had options, I might add, in the box. You can see the runs were made, but she didn't need them. This finish is absolutely exceptional. And again, an acute angle. She had pace and accuracy. She looked up and had it and buried it. Well, they're turning on the afterburners now.
Bottom corner from outside the box. Emily Gilnick, what a finish. 5th goal for her country. Scores spectacular goals seemingly every time she does find the back of the net. And she's had to reinvent herself a little bit after coming onto the scene as a striker and being forced out into wide areas. You've got to have that kind of finish, and boy, was it a beauty.
And the ball from Chloe Lagazo is probably the best touch she's had all night. Beat the right back and had a great amount of weight on it, which allowed Emily Gilnick to have that first time.
So those 4 goals coming in 17 second half minutes. An amazing blitz. Very much redemption for the Matildas after that shock result on Saturday. And they're taking care of the aggregate they had to sort out to lift that trophy, Walshy.
Well, I'm a bit reluctant to get too excited. We've got 20 minutes here, but there's no doubt that after that first and second goal, they're playing with a little bit more freedom. There's less hesitation in their game.
And
Passes.
now Kerr walking the tightrope. How well did she do that? And should earn the corner, and does. The assistant on this near side looked across and saw it across the byline. Now, what do you want to see from this corner, Walshy? You've been banging on about it for 2 games.
Well, I have, haven't I?
Where should they be, Australia?
Well, let's look for the 2 late runners here coming in. Here they are on your screen. Let's see where they start their run. Let's see how they attack this. And let's see how good the service is.
It should really be landing outside the 6-yard box as well, shouldn't it? In between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box, not too close to Wendler. Deep. That was an important hand because Kennedy was coming in. And a little bit of afters between Kennedy, as you could see. Carpenter at full speed. That was unfortunate the way it got away from forward.
Well, it was an important touch. But you're right, there is so much niggle in back play here. Also going to see a change for the Matildas. Alex Chidiac into the midfield.
She skipped away to halfway as well, determined to get out there as soon as possible, sniffing a goal or 2 is in the offing. And now is her chance to get out there. And it's Chloe Lagazo who's going to make way. And Alex Chidiac is the only European-based player in this Matildas squad, playing at Atletico Madrid. And that is the club which is also home to her favourite player, Antoine Griezmann. And so she's loving being close to him and also playing with Atletico. And there's been a real upswing in the standard of Spanish club football and their national team as well. And Chidiac is learning plenty. Oh, that was an audacious attempt by Kerr to play the back heel in for Ford. Good strength by Van Egmond to hold off Lara. Now Gilnick. Onto her right side. Van Egmond, how cool is that? Knew where Kellen Knight was. What can she whip in? Too close to Endler. Chidiac was getting into the area.
Oh, well, that was excellent movement to lead up to that cross. Such a huge understanding between Van Egmond and Kellen Knight.
Santi Bunez is out there, Walshy, in the number 13 shirt. Has finally got her first minutes of this two-game series. She's a chance here. Oh, what a flick that was by Polkinghorne to keep it away from Santi Bunez. The deftest little flick by the centre half. And a very important one. Ford can go back to the back four. Just swapping positions right now. Carpenter and Polkinghorne briefly. I like the way the Aussies slot in for one another in those rare occasions. And now Ford goes inboard. Rolled out to Gilnick. Kellen Knight making up the ground on the overlap. And it goes her way. And again the cross from KK. Straight into the keeper's grasp.
Well, again, it's just in the favour of the keeper, and thankfully we've actually been able to see them execute that properly tonight. However, a low-driven ball across the goal is going to be so much, forget Endler, that conversation, it's so much harder for your back four to defend when you're running back to goal, when they're driven low and hard.
Fresh legs for Chile. Samqueza getting her first minutes of the two-game series as well. And we have seen that rotation as well in the lineup. Van Egmond now the base of midfield. Kellen Knight to left back. So much versatility for Alan Stajic to utilise. And now the flick at the other end. Running onto it, KK. Couldn't keep it in.
Well, she's been busier getting forward this second half. There's no doubt, Speedy, that this wind is playing a part. I feel like Chile really haven't been able to get out of their own half.
The territory battle would be in the 90s in the second half. Australia probably around 95% of the play in the half which they're attacking. Bit of pressure has been mounting on Alan Stajic. This is the kind of result and second half performance he would have been after.
Yeah, definitely so. I imagine there's still plenty of areas that he won't be happy about. I think there have been opportunities that have been missed, even in this second half, but definitely been able to mount that score pressure on Chile, and they still look like they're wasting time right now.
Well, I've never seen a more fastidious referee about where free kicks and throw-ins should be taken from. She's actually taken them back 5 metres from where the infringement occurred. She's the one wasting time. Good ball, Kennedy, the Chidiac. Kerr, able to turn. Get others involved. Chidiac. Kellen Knight tracks it down. Trying to beat Rojas. Well, that's a dance manoeuvre in some parts of the world. Santi Bunez, the kind of challenge Van Egmond didn't want a bar of. And Australia converged to almost win it back. It could easily have squirmed to Kerr, who would have been in on goal. Carpenter just assessing where her opponent was. offside every day of the week. Ball in the back of the net, but it won't count.
Still a lovely little finish there.
Planteo trying to make it 2 goals in 2 games. She sealed the victory the other day, made it 3-1 before Van Egmont's late penalty. Sloppy giveaway. Now they're a chance to get forward again. Decent run in behind too. And the shots just fired wide. That was the chance for Santibáñez to get a consolation goal.
Well, she's made an impact coming on. You can see she holds up the run and waits for the space to open up. Lana Kennedy was caught on her heels. I thought for a moment there she was going to chip Mackenzie Arnold, but she scooped that left. But they don't need too many opportunities in front of goal. No, it's only a matter of time before they put one of these away.
Ford, too strong on the ball. Kerr trying to bend her run. A little late with the release was Ford. Perhaps worried about Kerr being in an offside position, tried to buy her some time. Rojas to Lopez. Chidiac putting some pressure on. Their best play of the evening here by Chile, working their way out from the back. Quentejo, to Guerrero. Now one over the top, Santibáñez, flag staying down here. Holkinghorn helps out her defensive partner.
This Chile squad, they are looking so positive heading into next year's World Cup. The amount of depth that they have, you think about the job that Zamoro did. And Santibáñez has come on and she's another level.
Now they're going to be a dangerous opponent because they're going to be in one of those lower ranked pots come that World Cup draw, December 8th. Matildas fans will be eager to see who they wind up with for next year's World Cup. Who knows? They might be facing Chile in the group stage.
Well, there's no doubt this friendly series is really... They've made a statement, and I can't imagine there'd be any teams in the top 10 at least that would want to face this team. They are the team you do not want to face, and I imagine there'll be plenty of talk about them at the draw.
And Chidiac slides it out in front of Gilnick. Lovely ball by the youngster. Gilnick trying to pick out Kerr at the back post. They've enjoyed getting behind their team. And Chilean fans. Is this the scoreline you predicted pre-game, Walsh?
I did. We have 9 minutes to go.
Oh, Kennedy. Wow, she launched into that challenge, and she's going to be the first Australian booked in this game, and rightfully so.
Wow, that's late. Guerrero, she's been on the wrong end of some of these challenges tonight and on Saturday.
Getting through the 90 minutes, though, which is a good sign for Alana Kennedy on the comeback trail from injury, but she's had a few hairy moments in the last few minutes, and maybe fatigue is setting in. Tough to replicate this kind of thing on the training pitch during that rehab period.
Yeah, it's definitely, it takes you a little bit of time to find your feet, but she settled in well.
Lovely little manoeuvre that, wasn't it, from Sayers to get around Carpenter. Now Gilnick. Well, shut down by Gallas again. Oh, trying to usher her teammates forward. She's got every right to as well. Now they're on the move. Sanfueza, though, overhitting that one.
So great we get to watch the Rojas play for the rest of the W League season. She's just been a joy to watch. Yeah, it's great having those different styles of players in our W League. Something very different to what we've had previously. She's such a positive player, scored that absolute cracker a couple of weeks ago, so make sure you get out and watch Canberra United.
Here they come again on the hunt for their first, and look at the weight on that pass. Perfect for the overlapping Guerrero. Now here is Rojas in the area, taking on Van Egmond. Great defensive work in her own box by Emily. After that flurry of goals, the chances have dried up for Australia.
You can see it's actually frustrated Chile. Yeah, they've kind of gone away from what was working. Haven't been able to complete their own passes.
Polkinghorne able to face forward. Now there might be a chance brewing for Australia. Kerr back to Van Egmond once more, getting so many touches in that number 6 role. Now Butt. All the way back to Arnold. Didn't want to muck around with a second touch with Santibáñez in the vicinity. Now they can make their move again. Kellen Knight getting back and just got a little shoulder in on Rojas at the key moment. Gilnick fired that one into Kerr. Decent layoff. Now Chidiac. Kerr an option. Little 1-2 back to Chidiac. Had to improvise. Did so effectively. Ford with the hold-up play. A real scrap was on. You can't do that, Caitlin Ford. You can't go the scissor action from behind.
Well, she's going to do everything to keep this ball. We see a couple changes here. Good use of a body early up. Just couldn't keep it in the end. Lopez doing her best.
And Sam Kerr is getting an early mark. Open the scoring tonight for the Matildas. Another goal for her in Newcastle. And she's got a home opener for the Perth Glory to look forward to this weekend. Job done. Michelle Heyman, welcome back to the international stage. Now playing her football with Adelaide United. And Princess Abini coming on as well for a late cameo, replacing Kellen Knight. So Carpenter's gone to left back. Princess Abini in the right back role. And now, well, it sat up, didn't it? That was a chance for Sanhueza. Difficult one.
Well, that's the last thing that Matildas want to do now. It was an air swing from Alana Kennedy. But great effort from these two on screen. Sam Kerr. She's had a tough, I think she's going to find it tougher 2017. I think she was given way too much space, and then obviously she built up a name for herself where a lot of players, defence, gave her a lot of respect, and off was time and space on the ball, and I think she's going to find herself surrounded by more and more players. She had that tonight.
So a new look front three for Australia. Ford is still part of it, but Heyman in the middle, Gilnick out there on the left wing. Princess Abini will try and get forward when she can from that right back role. Given some leniency there where that throw-in was taken, and Australia might get some payoff as Abini gets adventurous. Van Egmond, what a fabulous ball. First time to Gilnick. Overlapping run from Carpenter. Across the face, chance for Ford, hat-trick! Caitlin Ford, wow! Beautiful Beautifully picked out by Ellie Carpenter, who shows her versatility from right back to left back and putting it on a platter for Ford to make it 3 on the night and 5 for Australia all told.
Well, this is simply gorgeous to watch. The switch of play, the movement off the ball, and the speed in which they moved the ball was absolutely excellent to watch. And you could see low and hard across the goal. And I love the composure here from Caitlin Ford. She deserves this hat-trick tonight. She's been absolutely everywhere that the Matildas have needed to be. And she's done that under pressure. Near post, just slotting it home. She's showing some serious amount of maturity tonight.
How's your 4-0 looking, Walshy? Gone. Caitlin Ford with the first hat-trick of her international career. We've seen her score them at club level, but doing it for her country. She knew it was the first time, didn't she, with the 3-finger salute, if you like. And Ellie Carpenter must have had X-ray vision to know where Ford was. You saw the replay. There were 4 or 5 bodies in the road, but it was a fabulous ball across the face.
Well, they've really done exactly what we've been asking of them for the last how many minutes, Speedy, and it's finally come. This second half, the execution's been better, their movement, they've just been so much more assured.
Coming in at the back post, Gilnick again. Ford for 4, surely not. Kept out by Endler somehow, but still Tamika Butts. Well, Australia looking for the half dozen in the 90th minute. And now Ford, little nutmeg to round off her performance. Header! Oh, Chidiac, not quite. Aren't they finishing strongly?
Well, everything they touch turns to gold at the moment. We thought Caitlin Ford had her 4th one there.
Alex Chidiac scored her one and only international goal against Thailand in Perth earlier this year. And that close to number 2. Getting on the end of things, making that run from midfield. Sliding one through. That's a decent ball for Carpenter to get on the end of again. Has support from Gilnick. And Rojas stops her in her tracks. Used underhand tactics, according to Carpenter. Alloway is out there, as you can see, in the number 5 shirt for late minutes. Lana Kennedy taken off after a really good shift. Decent first ball out of defence by Alloway as two, giving Australia a chance to get forward. Well, right through the middle. Big chance here. Again, Sanfueza across the face.
Oh, they are so dangerous when they get in behind this Matildas defence. And the little link-up play here, the combinations are so gorgeous to watch. Just didn't result in the final shot. They should be very proud about their performance the last 2 matches.
Well, look at all those second half shots from Australia. 12-4 their way. It has been utter domination. 8 shots on target to zip. And Caitlin Ford has been ruthless. Alan Stajic has been saying for a long time now he wants to see more goals out of Caitlin Ford, who had 11 for her country in 66 previous appearances before tonight, 1 in 6. And she comes up with 3 in 1 game.
Well, you look at the things that made her outstanding, exceptional tonight, and it wasn't a pace, really, in which we've come to know that she can break open defences on a counter. However, the things that I loved about it tonight was the close ball skills. She was absolutely ruthless in coming off the defence and linking up play, getting in behind. Versatility that she's, well, I guess the stuff that she's added to her game is something that I never thought she'd be able to get to.
Gilnick trying to chip one over the top for Chidiac. Can she get between them? Well, that's cynical. Clearly taken out by Lara. Referee, you're having a shocker if you can't see that. Seriously.
Well, the crowd don't like it either.
Well, they get one more chance. They should have had a set piece there. Here goes Ford again. Just rides through the challenges. And they can get forward now. Tamika Butt. It breaks the way of Carpenter. Uses Gilnick. To the byline she goes. And that clearance a little weak. Van Egmond keeps it alive. Just back onside was Gilnick. Van Egmond. Chidiac. Doesn't get that free kick either. It's full time. Caitlin Ford with the first hat-trick of her international career. Was a key player in the Matildas' second half blitz. They take the trophy after overturning that 3-2 defeat in Penrith on Saturday in emphatic fashion. There's the celebration between Ford and Kerr. There was one for Sammy and 3 for Caitlin. Some second half showing from the Aussies, who finished 2018 on a high, but they know they need even more improvement in the World Cup year of 2019. Full time in Newcastle. Australia 5, Chile 0. Kerr with